And at the end of the night, he said, Brian, if I'm gonna mentor you, you gotta come to the castle. I can't do it over email, I can't do it over this. And I didn't say yes, but I thought about it that night, and a few weeks later, I thought, if I don't take him up on this request, then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna keep doing the same things. And what's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And I was alone back then. I had no one helping me with London Real, which meant I had no one to talk about, no one to get counsel for. And most people thought I was crazy, or some people thought I was doing the right thing, but I really needed some help, some mentorship, someone. And so a couple weeks later, I said, yes, Dan, I'm coming to the castle. And I packed my bags, and I took the train up to Guthrie Castle. Now, here's a funny story. Dan was actually at the Bulletproof Conference in LA like a month before, and he saw Dave Asprey, who he was on Dave Asprey's show, the Bulletproof exec. And he told Dave Asprey, second in command, that I'm gonna beat Brian Rose like a rented mule. That's what he said. And the guy told me Dan said that, and I got pissed off. I was like, fuck this old man. I can't, he thinks he's doing this, he's not doing a goddamn thing. And so I rode up to Scotland with my bags packed, with a chip on my shoulder, and I was this close to not going. And then I told myself, if he says one thing that pisses me off, I'm packing my bag, I'm getting a mini cab service to pick me up at the castle, and I'm going to him home, and the old man can go fuck himself. That's the way I went up there. I was supercharged. Also, at the same time, Mariano and I were trying to have a baby, and we were struggling with a really bad miscarriage. And so it was just hard to even go there. It was hard to even go there. But at the same time, I just knew that like desperate times call for desperate situations. And if I didn't take this opportunity, that the future of my family might be in jeopardy. And so we made the decision. I was gonna go, I wanted to go, and I was like, I'm gonna go do this. But it was a very emotional situation. And so I got up to the castle. First of all, the castle was real. I thought it might be made out of cardboard. I thought it might be a little wooden shack. Who knows? You never know what's gonna happen. I get up there, it's gorgeous, it's real. And I remember Dan walked down the staircase in like a college sweatshirt and like sweatpants. And he greeted me and said, hey, you're here. Glad to see you. And his wife, Sally, greeted me as well. And right then, immediately I knew everything was gonna be okay. And I had built up this whole thing that I was gonna be fighting out with Dan for the week. And immediately he just put me at ease. And I thought, you know what? These are actually nice people. And I set up my cameras, and I set up the first interview I did with him before the Castle seminar. And this has been famous. This thing's been watched hundreds of thousands, who knows, probably millions of times. And we talked before I started the seminar. And you could see I'm still not wearing a tie. I still have my soul patch thing on my chin. I did put a jacket on. And I'm trying to figure out what's in store for me for the next week. I know he's ex-military. I know he's gonna try to put me through a boot camp. He's isolated me. He's gonna try to tear me down and build me back up, and I know it's coming. I went through Hell Week in a fraternity, so I've been through sleep deprivation. I've been through emotional stress. I've been through all of that nonsense back when it was okay to do that stuff. So I'm questioning Dan about what's gonna happen, and I'm still trying to feel out the whole situation. And so here's a short clip of that first interview before the Castle seminar started.
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. We have a special edition. I am attending this very same QLA mentoring program starting in 2 days. It's been 6 months, Dan, since we sat down and talked to each other. So much has changed. I've changed. Look, I'm wearing a suit now. I'm in a castle interviewing you.
I've noticed.
And you said you used to do webinars and this kind of thing, but now you want people that are committed. They're gonna pay the price, literally and figuratively. They're gonna come up to here for a week. This is no joke, to get up here to Scotland. Yeah. And they're gonna get away from their comfort zone, get away from their family. I mean, this is a bit like SEAL training, right? You're stripping them down, cutting off communication, and now you wanna put them through the ringer. You wanna break them down. Is that what's going on here?
Exactly. A lot of you are here is, how do I get the fucking money? That's the only thing. They don't care about Dan, Pena, QLA, anybody. Okay, how do I get the fucking money? Okay, we get to.
I hear that all the time.
Okay,
Brian,
we get to how do you get the fucking money about the end of the third day or the beginning of the fourth day. Okay,
all right, so I should stay for that.
Yeah, you should stay for that. But it's the reason why you haven't gotten the fucking money is that what the first 3 days are all about.
So just so people know the detailed information, I broke down everything going on with my business, with my personal life. I took the success test. I took a psychology test that basically, I think it's trying to break down my own barriers, how I limit myself,
correct,
my own self-esteem issues. other people in my life bringing me down, including my wife or girlfriend or my parents or my kids.
Absolutely.
And it was interesting because I wasn't expecting some of these questions.
Correct.
Okay.
And because, as I said on the first time you interviewed me, we have two bank accounts in life. We have an emotional bank account and a financial bank account. And the reason our financial bank account isn't where we necessarily want it to be is because of our emotional bank account.
Those first few days, what have been the reactions from people? Do you get people that want to leave? Do you get people that want to cry?
We've had people pass out. A partner in a Big Four accounting firm shit his pants. The person that passed out was a psychiatrist.
Why would they
I
pass
mean,
out?
they just did.
Oh, okay.
The stress.
Okay.
The stress, because I push a lot of buttons.
Jesus. Has anyone ever said, fuck you, Dan Pena, I'm walking out the door?
No, I've thrown a couple out, but nobody's ever said that.
I'll be the first if I walk.
Yeah, if you walk, you'll be there'll be plenty of cunts here, but you may be the first cunt to walk out.
Why is this important to you, Dan? Why mentor? Why not be out there and be Alan Sugaring? Why not be Trumping? Why not be doing these things where these guys want to get more wealth? They want to do more accomplishments. They want to show the world.
Because when I took
value.
$820 and turned it into $450 million in 8 years in a declining market, I realized, and kids, you're not going to believe this or understand it, it ain't that hard. It just ain't that hard. I know that if I impact you, because I've already impacted you, when I impact you more, you will be a great collaborator for QLA because you have a big following.
So I will be a shining example of the wonders of QLA.
Correct.
You're going to do
and
that.
And if I can do it with you, I can do it with anybody.
Now, let me ask this question. Now, last time I had the interview with you, we turned the cameras off. We went outside. You were saying, I'm going to change your life, Brian Rose. You also told me that you have a glow about you. And I was like,
I do.
Yeah, I know. You do. And we'll get to that later. And I got home and I was like, I felt like I had drank ayahuasca. I called it the Peña because like my brain hurt. And part of me says, fuck Dan, and part of me says, all right, we got to keep talking to Dan, and it's very hard to process you. And part of me say, the rational engineer side says this, and I'll be straight with you. It says, look, this is Dan's game. He says, you know something's wrong with you because you could be more successful. Okay, that applies to 98% of the world who's realistic with themselves. I know what's wrong with you. If you listen to me, you'll be more successful, and if you don't, you're an idiot like I thought you were. So by definition, you are right and everyone's wrong.
Yeah.
Is that right what I said?
Yes. Absolutely.
So then isn't this just a con?
No, it's not a con. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
You call it what you want.
But that means you always win. There's no argument against you.
Well, no, I only don't win if you quit.
Okay. Again, that always
And
works.
I take that personally. When somebody quit, I've never given up on a mentee in 21 years.
I look forward to this week. All right.
Okay.
And now it begins. The next day, the 7-day Castle Seminar would start. And you're probably asking yourself, what is the Castle Seminar? What is going on here? Well, Dan has been doing this for the past 27 years. And his idea was that if he brings you into an environment of high performance, of opulence, and teaches you these things while you're living the lifestyle, that you'll walk away with an experience that will be with you the rest of your life. And so he brings you into his Scottish castle, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's completely manicured, the lawns. He must have a staff of 25 people making this thing just absolutely stunning year round. He's got butlers that have been employed by the Queen before. Everyone wears a suit and tie at all times. You have a formal dinner every night. The food is off the hook. Sally has the best wines, the best everything. And you're surrounded in this environment that slowly starts to seep into you because you ask yourself, well, what if I could live like this? Now, on top of that, Dan starts to put in the QLA methodology into your head. And for the Castle Seminar, and you're about to see some bits from it next, what the first 4 days is it's mostly mental. Like Dan said in the previous clip, we all have two bank accounts, the emotional bank account, the financial bank account. Most of us want to go straight to the financial bank account. How do I get rich? The truth is most of us aren't ready to be rich because we haven't solved all of our emotional issues, our low self-esteem, our need to be liked, our need to be politically correct. So without dealing with this, you might get some money, but you're going to lose it. You're never going to have that wealth mindset. So Dan really starts to deprogram you from the start. And if I'm honest, I'm sure he got this from the military. And that's why if you watch him on day one, he comes out hard. I mean, he really comes out blasting. I think to this day, he walks in the first day, and I think he still hands out tubes of vagina cream and hands it out to everybody in the thing. This is someone who's wearing a suit, who's paid $20,000, $30,000 to be there, and he's handing you out that. He calls everybody cunts. He calls you losers. He makes fun of everybody in the place. He has an old expression that his daughter used to say. His daughter used to say, "Daddy treats everyone the same, like shit."